Good morning, Southern California, AM 1220, KHTS. This is your host, Fred Arnold, on the Valley Industry Association Business Spotlight. I'm joined by Scan Forward, Paul Davis, the CSO, the Chief Strategy Officer and CFO of Scan Forward. So tell me about, now I know Scan Forward was started by your good friend David Barco,
right.
Does I say that right?
Barco.
Okay, and almost like barcode. Barco, very good.
Close, very close.
And tell me about the inspiration behind it.
Sure. A little over 2 years ago, David had a professional acquaintance who came to him just kind of on a social calling and was talking about all the difficulty he was having with his file management and his documents and being able to keep them organized and knowing where they are. And so David had a file document scanner, and he said, hey, let me help you out with that. So we got a few boxes from the guy, scanning his invoices, purchase orders, client, vendor, employee records, and he really liked the work we did. And I was actually his roommate at the time, so I was there throughout all that. And it kind of just scaled out from there. We saw that it worked, and that acquaintance quickly became our first customer and is still our customer today, and very satisfied. So it's been a good ride.
So on the simplistic side of it, it's scanning documents and making them electronic, easily accessible. So I don't assume, what does Scan Forward do?
Well, in large part, you're right. It's a lot of hard copy to digital conversion. But there's also some consulting and training services that we provide, because once you have the document in a digital format, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be able to keep them organized or know how to access them.
How do you find it? Yeah, how do you find a certain receipt from the restaurant, Persia restaurant from down the street?
Right.
Or how do you find,
Well, that really is the trick. Once it's in a digital format, you need to know how to search for it, where it's going to be located. If it's going to be located on all of your workstations in your office or just a few, is it going to be stored on the cloud? Because if it's on the cloud, you can pull it up on any mobile device anywhere in the world at any time. So we provide that training and that consulting, and we can even help with some of the IT setup if you're not quite there yet.
I want to throw something in there. Talk about the security side of it, because when it's on the cloud,
right,
you have a little bit of a fear that it could be intercepted in some fashion.
Sure. Well, part of that is making sure that your in-office network is secure. Now, if you have that set up already with your own internal or third-party IT systems and team, then that's great. That makes our lives a lot easier. If not, we can help you with that too. We have some experience, we have some training, so we'll help you get what you need, hardware as well as software, to make sure that stays in that closed internal loop, and only the people can access it that you want to access it.
It's critical that you see an expert, Scan Forward, or whoever it is, to make sure that information is secure, and to make sure that when you're accessing that data from a remote location,
right,
it's secure. To know what is a secure document and what is a document that, if it got in the World Wide Web, is somewhat of a public document. So you wouldn't have to have the same level of security. So all that's really important, and you help advise on that.
Absolutely, yeah. I would say, in addition to our hands-on services, the document lifecycle solutions, which essentially is what happens to a document from its creation to its storage to its retrieval, and then ultimately to its destruction, that we do all of that. But the security really lies in what we provide in consulting and training. And one of the things that we like to talk to our customers about the first time we talk to them is, what is a document worth to you? Because if you're in an industry that is sensitive, like the medical field or the legal or a bank.
The mortgage industry. We're mortgage bankers.
Absolutely. If you lose someone's document that has sensitive information, that could cost you tens, if not hundreds of thousands. And the last thing you want is some class action lawsuit.
Or you don't secure it.
Perfect.
Very, very important. Let's talk about the benefits, saving money.
Sure. Our mission is to find ways to increase our clients' operating efficiency so that they can save money, they can save time, and also to decrease that wasteful paper that is happening in so many industries and so many offices right now.
Let me just tell you right now, I'll be really blunt about it, and that is, we don't have any more time in our lives. We have just a finite amount, not an infinite amount, and it's important that if we can save time, that's huge for business.
Time is money.
Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
So any particular thing you want to share about the process of how you do your job?
Sure. Well, I think it's important to explain the process because a lot of people don't necessarily know exactly what you mean when you say document lifecycle. So basically, the first thing we do is we want to meet with our customer and say, what documents do you have? What problems are you having with those documents? That way it allows us to kind of wrap our head around what strategy we need to create and build a customized plan for you. But it also allows them to get a better idea of what we do. Once we've been able to get an idea of what their documents look like, we will then create the plan, usually consisting of taking the paper documents out of their office, taking them to our facility, scanning them into a digital process, and prior to that, it's a little bit of, depending on the document, we may have to go through the pre-processing of removing staples, unbinding any booklets you might have, getting the documents ready to be scanned. Once it's scanned, we decide what file format you want, what naming processes you want, then reverse processing, restapling, rebinding, getting them back to the way that we received them. That's really important, especially if people want to keep their documents on file. And in some industries you have to for 5, 10, 20 years.
Well, let me just say, almost all industries need to do it for the IRS.
Right.
Because they'll just keep coming back. So,
Sure.
Paul, those that want to reach out to Scan Forward, how can they reach you?
They can contact us. We're local. Our phone number is 661-361-3600, or you can go to our website at www.scan-forward.com, and we have all our information on there as well as a way to reach out and get us to call you back, and we'll do that very quickly.
Wonderful. Thanks for coming in.
Hey, my pleasure. Thank you for having me, and thanks for providing this opportunity.
You're welcome.
It's great.
You're welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, Paul Davis. Paul Davis with Scan Forward. Hope you enjoyed this edition of the Santa Clarita Valley Industry Association Business Spotlight. This is your host, Fred Arnold, on AM 1220 KHTS.